Hello and welcome to the Colchester Truro Next Generation Candidates Forum with the 5 candidates for the federal riding of Cumberland, Colchester, Musquodoboit Valley. Tonight we're bringing you a live stream which we hope will be well viewed and paid attention to, because we feel there's going to be some good questions. First, I wanted to kind of give an introduction as to our group and why we are here tonight. This is a group that started trying to make Truro and Colchester a better place for the 20 to 40-year-old demographic. As for tonight, we feel that we have some questions and issues that the 5 candidates can answer for us as to how their party and themselves will represent us in the House of Commons. I wanted to make a few thank yous. First to Kevin Quinlan and the Nova Scotia Community College Truro campus for allowing us to have our debate here. Also his IT department with Christian DeVoe, and again to Alliant for providing us with this stream. Our format will be fairly simple, I hope. It will be some opening statements for each of the candidates, then we'll get right into the questions which each candidate will have an opportunity to answer. Those questions, we have a few here, but we're taking them live via email, Twitter, Facebook, and our website. All the information is available on our website, where the link is available as well that hopefully you're watching. The order's been pre-selected. We'll be starting, well, first I'll introduce the candidates. We have Jim Hnatiuk with the Christian Heritage Party, Jim Burrows with the Liberal Party, Wendy Robinson with the NDP, Jason Blanch with the Green Party, and Scott Armstrong with the Conservative Party.
I want to thank tonight's organizers for hosting this important meeting and to give you a chance to decide upon the best person to represent Cumberland, Colchester, Musquodoboit Valley. I want to share a little bit about myself. I served our country for 25 years in the military, and since then I've established a large hunting and fishing store in Nova Scotia. So I'm ready to put together my leadership and business skills to represent you in Ottawa. So CCMV needs a strong and independent voice in Ottawa, and it's important for you to know that I'm the leader of the Christian Heritage Party as well, so I won't be shackled by the party or the party leader, and I'm free to represent you. I know many of you are concerned. I've traveled extensively through the riding, especially in 2009 by-election, to hear what you had to say firsthand, and I got around a little bit already in this election. And I know people are just fed up with politicians and the whole political scene. I hear a lot of that. I've heard you're tired of the shortage of rural doctors, lack of good jobs, the long gun registry, and not having enough to provide for your families. Also, as a hunter, I know firsthand the insult of the failed and wasteful long gun registry, and the CHP, its policy is to abolish it. The CHP is the 6th largest federal political party in Canada. I got involved with this party because I too became frustrated with what's going on in Ottawa. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a strong voice in Ottawa, that I could speak freely for you without having to ask permission first and being told what to say and when to say it. So I trust this evening I'll be able to provide you with some of the reasons you'll want to vote for CHP candidate Jim Hnatiuk on May the 2nd. So thank you.
Thank you. And now Mr. Burrows.
Well, thank you very much, and thank the organizers for putting this program together this evening, and to the people that are watching on the internet. I'm pleased that you've taken time out of your busy schedules to tune in and listen to us tonight. And I hope those of you out in rural Nova Scotia have a fast enough wireless network that you can also watch us tonight. 30 years ago, I returned back from university and chose to farm in this community, a profession that has allowed me to live and be a part of the community, an area that's very important to me. As I look forward over the next few years and what's happening, I hope my children, now young adults, will have that opportunity to have meaningful jobs in Cumberland, Colchester, Musquodoboit Valley. But I've been fortunate not only to have a job in the area, I've been very fortunate to be involved in many community organizations in the local community, as well as to be involved in farm organizations and farm businesses that have given me an opportunity to find contacts across the province and across the country. As a result of this, I recognize that many of the national priorities and policies have not always been in the best interest of this constituency. 2 years ago, I chose to become involved in politics because of my discontent with the direction the national government was going. I also chose at that time to become a member of the Liberal Party. I chose the Liberal Party because when I looked at the parties that are involved in politics in Canada, I saw the Liberal Party as having been able to balance fiscal and social responsibilities. And my belief is that I would have an opportunity and will have an opportunity within this party to influence and improve this area of Nova Scotia. As I visited people over the last few weeks during this campaign, I've heard much of what Jim has talked about, the frustration of the voters. Very much frustrated with politicians, politics, and the like within this area. So I'm pleased to be the representative for the Liberal Party, and pleased that we have a platform that is focused on people, on individuals, and we'll be looking forward to promoting that over the next few weeks.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and again, thank you for all the organizers of this event. My name is Wendy Robinson, and I'm very proud to be the new Democratic Party's candidate. I believe that our party offers the best way forward for all Canadians, and more specifically, us in this riding. Like many of you under the age of 40, I did not think politics was relevant when I was younger. I voted out of sense of duty. My political interest developed slowly when I went back to university in my early 40s and took a political science course just to fill my requirements. We took a good look at the political spectrum, and I was surprised to discover that my values were aligned with the left, as I had been voting progressive conservative up until that point, following my family tradition. In my master's studies, I became involved with a political science professor, and my thesis looked at political participation, thus deepening my interest in politics. In 2008, I was elected as a town councillor, and in 2010 became the deputy mayor of the town of Hnatiuk. I have learned what people need in a local sense, and through my association with my MLA's campaign, my formal federal candidate's campaign, and my own career, I realized how much every level of politics affects each and every one of us. I believe that the NDP have a platform that best provides for the average Jane who is struggling to make ends meet. I am that average Jane. I worked for many years in retail and dentistry, and I was a single mother for a few years. I know what it's like to wonder if you should feed your children or keep them warm. I was running my own business at the time, but had to give it up when my children went to live with their father. His household had 5 times the income of mine, and the children wanted to live under his roof, and he chose not to support them in my home. After that, I gave up my fledgling business to go to work for a $12.75 an hour job. I was trying to support myself and was looking at paying child support as well. So I know what it's like to struggle. I also know through my education what it's like to find...
Thank you very much, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you.
Mr. Blanch?
Hi, I'm Jason Blanch. I'm the Green Party candidate for Cumberland, Colchester, Musquodoboit Valley. I want to thank the organizers for the event. I want to thank all my candidates for coming to give you, the viewers, the opportunity to hear who we are and what we stand for. My experience in politics to date has taught me that people really don't trust those of us sitting at this table. I've heard it over and over again. And with that in mind, tonight I'm not going to start by talking policy. You'll hear lots of policy in the next little while. I want to take a moment to talk to you about who I am, what I stand for, and my vision of shared responsibility. I'm a father of 2, and I have a 5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. And in large part, that's my motivation for sitting here tonight. I work, and I have worked for the last 20 years as a counselor in addictions, a counselor for abusive men currently with the Transition House in Amherst. I've worked overseas, and I think at this point we'll switch to what I stand for. I stand for a world where children and all people can be okay, can be secure and safe. I know 15% of children in Canada live in poverty. And to be honest with you, I've had my heart ripped open working overseas and during the war in Sierra Leone. And as such, I'm a man who has twice already been brought to tears at the door talking to people about the issues that face our community. It takes a lot to tell you that, and likewise it takes a lot to tell you how hard my heart is beating right now. But I'm here for a reason, an important reason, and that's the thing I said about shared responsibility. My responsibility is to be here representing the Green Party, and in that way I give you, the ones that never vote, the opportunity to vote for something you believe in. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Armstrong?
Well, good evening, everyone, and I also want to congratulate the organizers of this event as well as our hosts, the Nova Scotia Community College, and their president, Kevin Quillen, for their wonderful hospitality in putting this event together. I'd also like to thank my fellow candidates, and in this campaign, in this riding, traditionally we've always been opponents. We've run positive, proactive campaigns based on policy, and we actually talk about the issues, and I'm very proud to be a part of a campaign that's focused on that so far. It's great to be here with you this evening discussing issues that have been largely ignored during this campaign, and that's the issues affecting young people. As a teacher with 18 years experience, both as a classroom teacher and as a school-based administrator, as well as a university instructor, I've actually taught every grade in the classroom from grade 4 to grade 12, and have instructed both undergraduate and graduate university classes. And I know from my time working as a principal in Tattnagouche Elementary for 10 years and Troy Elementary for about a year and a half, that rural Canada is facing several challenges, not the least of which is how to attract and retain young families and young people to the rural parts of our community. The answer, I believe, is basically simple. However, it's going to take a lot of work. We need to focus on jobs and growth in our rural communities. We need in this riding to help our rural communities provide services that will attract young families to them. We need to have a budget like our budget 2011, a plan for jobs and growth. And currently, our riding, which runs from Amherst to deep in the Halifax Regional Municipality, has an average family income of $55,000 a year. This is 285th out of the 308 ridings in Canada. The focus of my 500 days as a Member of Parliament has been to work in cooperation with other levels of government and community groups with a focus on jobs and growth so we can emerge from the largest recession in the history of our country since the Great Depression as a successful rural community. The goal is to focus on our communities to become smart rural communities, and I take great pleasure in sharing that. Thank you.